Hello everyone, this is Metroid Gamer here, and welcome to Metroid Prime 1 of the Metroid Prime Trilogy series, episode 19. In the last episode, we have just gotten a whole bunch of missile expansions over at Phantom Drift. We also got Chosen Artifact, also known as the Chosen Artifact of Elder, and we also got a power expansion. So, in this episode, we actually need to go ahead and get our very last required item that we need, besides the chosen artifacts. So let's go ahead and get to it. So, as you can see here, I actually forgot to scan something over at that one area. Yeah, so one little area where I kept messing up all those platform jumps. Yeah, I actually need to go back there to actually scan something real quick. It's actually a very important scan. Because again, all the loglit scans, you need to get all of them in order to get 100% in the game. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. And as you can see right here, I did the best I could. I am doing this post commentary, so so that way I can concentrate on my gameplay when I'm playing the game, and I can concentrate on my commentary when I'm commentating. So hopefully this will be a more decent commentary as opposed to doing it live. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And I still do not have the very last suit, so the phasing is actually very dangerous. So yeah. And I also found out that it's actually a lot easier to see with the thermal visor. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But anyways, yes, there is a missile expansion that we actually needed. I actually reviewed pretty much all of the areas except for Talon Overworld, where all the missile expansions are at. So hopefully I can get a pretty good amount of them, because actually there is a total of 250 of them in the game, not 255. I don't know why I thought it was 255. I guess it's because I was watching a whole bunch of Metroid Prime videos and I saw ones with like 255 in them. But no, actually the most you can actually have is 250. So maybe the person either hacked the game, or there's like an extra missile expansion they can get that I do not know of, so maybe that's the reason why. But anyways, yeah, I was just, trying to get rid of all these Metroids so that way it'd be easier for me to get on these platforms and just jump there. Even though this area is still kind of a pain in the butt for me as far as like platforming goes. And no worries guys, if I do play a platforming game, it'd be a lot better than this, I promise. But in this game, it's so different in first person view. Like, see right here, I missed that ledge right there, that ledge of that mushroom there. But yes, that is actually where I need to go to get my scan. It is actually a missile station I actually need to get. And not only do I need to scan something there, I'm actually running, I wouldn't say I'm running like really low on missiles, but for this particular boss, it just helps to have like maximum amount of missiles. Because you're going to be using all missiles against this boss, except for, his pawns, which you'll see later on. He's going to also have Ice Trooper and pretty much all of the troopers. So those are the only enemies in this boss that actually do not have to use missiles against. But I mean, for this boss, I mean, you do not have to use missiles against him. It's just a lot easier to use missiles against him, instead of just using charge beams against him. Especially since missile beams home in on the enemy, especially since I do have the free aim on. And yeah, you can play this game without the free aim, but for me, I like the challenge. I like, to test my aim when it comes to, fighting enemies on the Wii. And of course, I do love the challenge. I am playing this on hard after all, so. And of course, I missed the platformer right there. So at this point, really, the only thing that's challenging for me, alright, is the first-person platforming, I guess. I do not know why, but I'm just not good at the platforming in first-person shooters. It's really kind of confusing. I mean, in third-person perspective, I'm good at platforming, but in first-person, it's like, what the heck? See, like right there, I finally just landed on that mushroom right there. So, and yeah. And also, those bombos are not scannable. All those invisible bombos, yeah, you cannot scan them. I believe I mentioned that in the last episode. You cannot scan them. So yeah. So basically, like by the time I get, what I need here, like I basically have gotten everything except for the chosen artifacts. Basically all the required items. But for 100%, you need to get everything. I need to get all the missiles, I need to get all the power expansions. But if I'm doing like an 80% run, like this is basically the last thing that you really need, is that Phasm suit. I mean, theoretically, you could actually probably go through the game without, the Phasm suit. But the thing is, there's like a little area that could take like a good deal of health off of you, so I don't know if it's even possible to get through that area without the Phasm suit, assuming that you get like 14 energy tanks, all 14 of them. I'm not sure if that's possible. So, yeah. I decided that I'm not going to, to heal up again, especially since, I still have 13 energy tanks. I should be okay. It doesn't really bother me. So, and plus, I actually practiced this boss like 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. Because he's surprisingly difficult on hard mode. Especially since I haven't fought the boss in like ages. I know I said I played this game at least 4 or 5 times, but that was like ages ago. Like the last time I played this game, like before the practice run, was like in 2006. That was the last time I played this game. So, I'm sorry if that is misleading. So, the reason why I'm kind of itching against this is because I kind of want to scan him before I start fighting him. But yes, he is the Omega Pirate, and this guy is the real deal. On veteran difficulty, this guy is actually legitimately challenging, especially if it's your first time fighting him. Like, forget how easy forget how quote-unquote easy that make this boss look. He's actually kind of hard. And it also takes a great deal of patience to beat him, so... But yeah. He mostly does a lot of those ground quakes, which you can just jump over, but you also gotta realize there's actually like three puddles of Phasm that you kind of have to avoid, because if you step in them, then obviously you're gonna be draining your health. And I think each of those little elbow caps and shoulder guards and kneecaps that he has, yeah. Each of those guards that he has takes like 5 missiles. Assuming that you don't mess up like I do and get a little impatient, then just basically if he brings out his little energy hand thing, basically you cannot shoot any beam or missiles at him. He's kind of impervious to damage that way. So you gotta be patient with this boss. You can't just rush it. But he's not that bad. If you use my method, he's really not that bad. He just takes a little while. He's a pretty cool boss too. Like, he looks cool. He looks like a Gundam almost. I think so far he's probably my favorite boss in the game, just because of how challenging he is and how much patience it actually takes, to beat him. See, like when he's temporarily stunned right now, he's waiting to to try to regenerate himself. Yeah, he sends troopers at you. Like in first phase he sends 2 of them, and the next phase he sends 3 of them. And they're not always going to be the same, color. Like all of these are ice troopers, so yeah. Basically my technique is I take out one of the troopers while I'm waiting for him, to show up in the X-ray visor, and then afterwards I attack, the last of the troopers while, he regenerates. So that's basically my strategy when I'm fighting him. See, I actually had a super missile at him, and I already took like more than a quarter of his health away. But yes, he does take 4 super missiles after you get rid of his guards. So theoretically, he's kind of like the elite pirates a little bit with the shin guards and the troopers. So he's very, very similar to them, except he's a bit more of a man, to be honest, with all those shin guards. And if you run out of those missiles, you may want to turn off the free aim, because it ain't easy, you know, to time off your charge shots, and sometimes it's hard to tell when to shoot at him. Like this isn't that hard, you know, to understand. I wait for him to do the ground quick, and then I shoot at him. So that way I can be able to, you know, catch him after he's doing his finishing animation. Basically, like Smash Bros. Style. Like I usually, you know, take advantage of my opponent when he has a long ending animation, and then I just attack him. So really, it's just a game of patience. And there we go. Oh, believe me, this went a lot better than my previous practice runs, I'm telling you that much. Even the last one, I was actually very proud of myself when I finally was able to beat him on the last practice run. I was like, oh my freaking goodness, I thought he was going to be impossible. Nope. If you use this method, he's actually not that bad at all. But don't do what I did. Don't forget to go to the missile station before fighting this boss. I'll tell you that much, because all those platforms that I had to experience, so they're not fun. Those platforms are not fun. Especially in first person. Like, I don't mind, you know, doing it in a Sonic game or a Mario game, but in a Metroid game, like, in a first person perspective, it's just, I don't know why, but it's really kind of confusing. But yeah, you know what I used to do in my practice runs? I used to waste so much time, you know, trying to destroy all these troopers before, you know, attacking him in the X-ray visor. But the trick is, like, you know, not to waste your time doing that. You gotta wait for him to appear in X-ray visor and then you can attack him. The truth is, you don't really have to worry about the troopers. You only have to get rid of maybe 1 or 2 of them, just so that way, you know, you won't be attacked constantly. So right now he's only out his energy hand, his little yellow energy absorber, like kind of like Dr. Gero uses in Dragon Ball Z. I forget what they call that. Like shock absorber or something, or Kai absorber, like Kai blast absorb. I might have to look that up, or I might just annotate it. But yeah, and sometimes he shoots those little phase-on grenade at you. So I usually just kind of strafe out of the way. And believe me, I used to get hit by those like crazy. So yeah, this is the very last mini-boss before you actually fight the last, I would say, 3 bosses in the game. Yes, there are 3. There's Med Ridley, and there's Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime Second Form. Yes, I'm not afraid to spoil it because I know this game has been out since 2002, guys. I mean, there's really nothing to really spoil, you know? I mean, but I'll tell you this, I freaking love the Metroid Prime fights. That's one thing I'm definitely going to look forward to in this game. But other than that, I'm actually thinking about maybe taking a break from the trilogy series after I'm done with Metroid Prime 1, because I'll tell you this, you know, getting all those scans and getting all the items, you know, especially if you haven't played this game in a long, long time, you know, it can be very, very time consuming. So I think about playing a game that isn't so time-consuming. Although this game really is fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this game when it first came out. I mean, why else would I play this game 4 times, when I first got it? It was just so much fun. It was the very first, first-person shooter I actually enjoyed. I mean, I played 007 Nightfire, 007, GoldenEye, those are great games too, but my goodness, this is a masterpiece. it really is a masterpiece, this game. It really is. I am still in awe of how amazing it was, at the time when I first played this. Back in 2002 and 2003 when I played this. It is just so gorgeous. And I just feel like such a badass, like going through all these beautiful, awesome, intense worlds. Especially Phasm Mines. Phasm Mines is probably it's starting to grow on to me. Phasm Mines is starting to grow on to me. But even though I did enjoy, Phasm Mines for what it is, this is probably going to be the very last time I'm actually going to be going into this area. Yes, I'm actually going to be working it through backwards, try to get 100% in all the areas going backwards, all the way back to Town Overworld. That's what I plan on doing. So, but I'll tell you this, I really enjoyed, Phasm Mines for what it is. It's very challenging, very intense. When I first played this on my practice run, or even just my, casual playthrough before my practice run, it was just, I ended up dying at least a couple of times before I actually started to get used to fighting them again. It just feels so satisfying just to pick up this game again, especially in the trilogy version. And plus, I really, believe it or not, when I first played this game on Metroid Prime 3, I dreaded playing a first-person shooter on the Wii because I had to actually, keep a steady arm when I'm fighting the enemies. But really, it's not that bad. It is not that bad at all. If you know what you're doing. If you know which missiles and beams actually home in on enemies, it's really not that bad at all. So, basically, what these videos are trying to promote is, for one thing, Nintendo, please make a good Metroid game again. Because, all those memories that I have playing this game, this was actually the very first Metroid game I actually ever played, and I just loved it to death. And yeah, true, this was after I played Melee, so you can argue that I'm only playing this game just because Samus was in Melee. Yeah, I could say that, but the thing is, would I still play this game if I didn't play Melee first? I would say, yeah, I would definitely play this game first. Just because it looks so damn good, it is just absolutely beautiful. All those Morph Ball puzzles are fun as hell. And bosses like these, oh my freaking goodness. They are just so satisfying to just defeat. Because I'm telling you this, especially on veteran difficulty, these bosses are no joke. And yes, we have defeated the Mega Part and we got our very own Phasm suits. It actually looks a lot better than what I remembered. Phasm suit, yeah, it actually looks a little better. It looks a little better on the Wii version. I don't know about you guys, but I think it looks a little better in this version. Then again, it's probably been so long since I've actually seen this suit that I just forgot what it looked like. I mean, I looked it up on Google, and then I compared it to the suits in Metroid Prime 2. I used to think, ugh, this suit is actually very good, compared, to the new suits in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. But actually, it looks pretty good. I mean, if you like the colors black and red, and if you like Shadow the Hedgehog, by all means. This actually looks pretty good. I mean, granted, I still like the way the Morph Ball looks in the Gravity suit, but this actually looks pretty good. Just kick ass. This is maybe my second favorite suit in the game. This is my second favorite. But the Very suit it still takes the cake. Because that was how I saw Samus the first time I actually saw her. I almost said salmon. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna say salmon because because of the way they chanted her name in Melee. Salmon! Salmon! But yes, we got our very last energy tank. We do not have to worry about energy tanks, guys. That's crazy. But yeah, I actually decided that I'm actually not going to go through that way. I'm actually going to go back because there's actually an artifact that I want to get. But I'm actually not going to get it this episode, maybe the next episode. Because that boss actually, it took a while. Like basically that's the main plot of this episode was me, you know, like finally actually kicking ass against the boss on veteran difficulty. Believe me, that was actually my maybe if you want to count all the other times that I fought him, you know, back in 2006, that was my 7th or 8th time fighting him, and I actually did decent. Like, have you ever played a game that you just legit, you know, are just either mediocre or just not very good at, but then when you start playing it again and you know, try your best, you know, it actually looks pretty freaking good. But anyways, this concludes episode 19 of Metroid Prime 1 of the Metroid Prime trilogy series. In the next episode, I'm actually going to be backtracking some more in Phasm Mines to see if we can get some more missile expansion, maybe even another Chozo artifact. So, I'll see you guys then.